And I believe we have a heckler, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, it's a Mike Heckler, the put downer, the roast beefer. What? Yo, you supposed to be a rapper? Whatever possessed you. You couldn't pass lip syncing as MF Restroom. Check your head, dude. Who are you? Subtract rock? You stupider than calling yourself the white black thought. I'm not kidding you. Here's a better name I'm giving you. How about MC Search for something else to listen to? If I closed my eyes and had to give it a guess, you could be in the Death Squad if they were literally deaf. That's true, huh? You don't have a clue, cuz, do you? You're not guru. You're a review of the love guru. Scar removal face. Yeah, I get snarky. You're sadder than Biz Markie without his Barbies. For real, where'd you get those explosive flows? Must have studied Curtis Blow. His nose, you're old school. I'm talking kinda like audio too, dude. If the two stood for doo-doo, how do I unsubscribe from knowing you are alive? You're the funky 4+1 -5 guy. You're T-I-R-E-D. Don't walk this way, run away from me, DMC. Ice Cube, a Gooding Jr., a bad actor. No chance at all, the rapper. When it comes to bars, you lowered the bar, son. You remind me of Exhibit, a failed art one. More confusing than Aesop Rock on acid is. You're ludicrous. The adjective, trick-or-treat daddy, 50 no sense, little brother-in-law, Pokemon common sense, booty camp low, I know you mean best, but you ain't Jean Grey, you're barely a Jean Vest, yes, I got a million, not lying son, you sound just like the game, the crying one, the way you mush-mouth syllables through the speaker, I was worried Chip Fu was having a seizure, I think he might be seriously ill, Bill, deadbeat Daddy Kane, roaring over the hill, Andre Zero, a questionable method man, artificial Flavor Flav, just a second, damn. People hear you and leave, when will you learn? You're not you God from Wu-Tang, you're U-turn. Hamburger Bun B, good grief, do a mic drop so we can breathe a sigh of relief. My least favorite producer on the mic, why you rhyming, G? You trying to be not a real Diamond D? Clearly, hieroglyphics are your heroes. You made This Is How We Chill from 93-year-olds. You ain't run the jewels, you're running scared. Your people I genuinely believe live under stairs. Uglier duckling, not fooling me. J-Roo the amateur, dropped out of Schoolie D. Not getting Action Bronson, no advances. Sage as in the culinary herb Francis. A closed freeway, routine's tedium. Spice none, Chino medium. Low salt and pepper, Bone Thugs in misery. You kidding me? You're not that busy, B. Three's company flow. You stop making me laugh. You're wackalicious. Re-gift a gab. Who made your beats? Need ID? You're the no more of this B.I.G. A tribe nobody called. Busted rhymes, woo-ha. You think you're Nas? No. You, nah. The R is in retired seniors resident. And your DJ's Eric B. for not my president. Ha! More like the Booyah-based god. You Lil Wayne Newton. ASAP Sucky. You like Old Thug. Kid Frosting. Your group's Two Dead Crew. You rap like Bone Crusher's armpit. You're Awkward Rick. You're LL, that's not cool, Jay. What? The Mike Heckler. Heck out of here.
Live from the center of the earth.
Got really, really terrible Star Trek toys,
Yeah.
so it wasn't until like way later. It wasn't until like Next Generation that they got Star Trek toys right.
Yeah, but at the same time, like Gene Roddenberry himself was just like hanging on the floor. There was only like 50 of them at the convention, right? So you get to hang out with him, and he's
I know.
so it's like one of those things, right? Would there be a perfect time or an ideal time for you to like go back in time and like get into fandom? Would it be the 50s, 60s, 70s?
I mean, I would love to go back and just live all of the 80s now.
Yeah.
Like at the age I am now, but go into the 80s and just take it all in, because that to this day I feel like it was just the creativity was rampant and there were just people were breaking rules from the stuff like Transformers and stuff was just coming out and comics and cartoons. No one really knew what they could do or what they couldn't do, and there had been a ban on advertising. Like cartoons were like selling a toy via cartoon series was considered, you weren't allowed to do that until the 80s, and that's why we never saw stuff like Scooby-Doo as toys, because that was pre this law. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, are we on? Are we rolling?
Yeah, because that was
This is-
instant. Yeah, but I also, part of it too is like going back to the 80s is that moment, that pivotal moment when you go see Transformers the movie for the first time and then Optimus dies, because that had never happened before. The way that G.I. Joe and Transformers were, they were shooting all the time, and there's robots and like weapons and things, Weather Dominator. There's all these things happening, right? And then it's all fine by the credits.
Yeah.
And then this one, the movie finishes and the credits roll. Nobody went back in time. Nobody he did? Like, we're doing this? Like, you can't recover emotionally. Like, we became men. That was our bar mitzvah.
It was, yeah. That was Transformers movie. I think it changed a lot of people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like arcades. Like I'd love to go to like actual crazy '80s arcades when
Yeah.
they were clean. I feel by the time I got to go to any arcades, they were all like dirty and on their last legs.
Yeah, but that's
then
what
they
you
got
kinda want,
revitalized.
though.
Like remember on Young Street, there used to be so many. There was a huge arcade there.
Yeah.
I think now it's like a 7-Eleven or like
Mhm.
a
yeah, right across from where Sam
an
the
H Mart or something now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Those were the good old days. Yeah, I mean, it's funny when you see those old school photos of like Young Street with all the neon signs and records and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, yo, that deserved a pimp walk.
Oh man, yes. Well, you had Sam the Record Man. You had, I mean, Plady Record was there. I used to get my records there early. You know, I got all my vinyl there in the '90s, and just mailing away because I was in Halifax, where I grew up, but like most of my family was in Toronto, so all my cousins were here, so I'd visit all the time. I always go to Plady and got like Socrates and a lot of really dope Toronto hip hop records from Plady Record, and they're still, they're still kicking it for sure. But that Young Street walk was pretty crazy. And there was a Toys R Us on Young Street. People forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like, and like the HMV, the big HMV.
Yeah,
anyways,
now we're just down in Zanzibar.
it's crazy. It's crazy. We reminisce all day.
Yes. Let's fast forward to the future. Yo, and welcome to my Summer Lair. I'm your host, Sammy Younan, and I've been talking with my friend, the Wordburglar, Bergie, SJ.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Le Grand Pantalon. I don't have any more.
Le Grand Pantalon. Hello. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's great to be here, man.
Yeah. You have a lot of kind of cool like nicknames and stuff like that, I guess, right? Like Bergie, SJ.
Yeah. Well, my name's Sean Jordan, and so growing up, all my friends, everybody just called me SJ, and then I developed the Wordburglar became my my rap code name after I went through many others. I mean, my first rap name was SJ Jazzy Jordan.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh,
I was in
man.
like grade 5.
Oh, yeah, no, we didn't know each
And
other
I
back
listened
then.
to a lot of DJ Jazzy Jeff and the
Yeah.
Fresh Prince, and then it evolved from there. I briefly toyed with going as Dandruff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I was that white flake making MC scratch their heads.
Oh, yeah. You would have
But
been head
no,
and shoulders
no.
above everyone else. Yeah.
No, that was just kind of playing around.
Yeah.
And then, the Wordburglar name, it's been, people shorten it, the Bergie. So whatever, call me whatever you want except
Yeah.
late for dinner. you know?
Oh, yeah. No, never late for dinner. Because that's a tradition in rap music as well. Like, I mean, like Kanye infamously has like Yeezy and Ye and other nicknames and stuff like that. Do you change your personality with each like nickname, or are you consistent across the board?
Yeah, I mean, I'm SJ, and then like Wordburglar definitely sometimes can take on a bit more of a braggadocious persona or character. But there are, it's all just sort of different sides of my personality and different songs depending on the song. Some of my tracks are more chill. Some
Yeah.
are definitely like get more hype and in your face. And I do like to take on sort of different characters, like if I'm doing tracks that are more like a story or some type of personification of something. So
Yeah.
but Bergie, Wordburglar, SJ, it's all me, man.
And it's sort of like the Clark Kent Superman thing, right? Which one is which, right? Like, and is that like when you were taking the name like Wordburglar? Once you settle on, I didn't mind the dandruff. I didn't think it was that bad. But once you took the Wordburglar, did you ever see it that way as like kind of like your secret identity, or like you were kind of like Wordburglar's like the superhero and that's the gear, and you put the gear on and you go and you fight crime, battle weak MCs?
Yeah, well, Wordburglar, it's funny, when I was first starting, I was really, like when I was first starting as Wordburglar, I'd been rapping for years before, and I was in a group with a bunch of my friends, like in junior high and high school, and then Wordburglar when I did adopt that name, it basically came out of I started doing a song, and the song was called Wordburglar, and then people started like that song got played on college radio, and like other kids knew it, and people started to know this song, and they knew me as Wordburglar and not SJ. And I'd be like, hey, I'm SJ. I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, I'm rapping. I'm like, okay, were you done anything? Got any songs? Oh, I did this song, Wordburglar. Oh, you're Wordburglar?
Yeah.
And so people knew me from that. So that's when it was like, oh, that name, it sticks. And it does really sum up what I do because it is, a lot of comic book influence. And, I mean, I'm a big Wu-Tang Clan fan, and Wu-Tang always combined, obviously the martial arts films, but with comic books as well. And rap has always had that similarity to comics with people with, you do have your secret identity. But, yeah, long story short, I mean, my first couple shows, I wore burglar costumes.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah,
That was some of those.
dude,
Yeah.
because that was like years and years ago. But I just really wanted to give audiences, you're just starting out, you're trying new things. I'm like, how can I make this show really engaging for people? And like Wu-Tang used to come out in like ninja gear,
Yeah.
and so I came out in the burglar costume a few times, and then it eventually just sort of faded away because I want people to listen to the music and not just be staring at a guy in a Halloween costume.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, the songs are good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I always keep saying I might revisit it from time to time just for something fun.
Yeah, kick it old school.
Yeah.
So you brought some treats for me. That's really nice. I appreciate that.
course,
So,
man, of course. Well, I
we
know you
got
got the album already, so
Yeah, the album, of course, is Rhyme Your Business. It's been out for a few months now, and you brought some comic books. So
yeah.
let's see what we got here. Oh, Paper Route, the last Paper Route.
Yeah.
Nice. I've been reading Brian K. Vaughan's Paper Girls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Paper Girl's great. Brian K. Vaughan is
Yeah.
amazing. I will say that my comic that I do with my pals Dave Howlett and Alex Kennedy
Yeah.
is, in my opinion, the best comic about a paper route ever.
Yeah.
Because Paper Girls is dope. It's not about a paper route.
Yes.
This is about a paper route.
Yes.
The last paper route. And yeah, it's inspired by my time. I'm a retired paper boy.
Yes.
And
Yes. Didn't you have a video too?
Yeah. One of my early rap videos, The Root. Shout out my buddy Mark Palermo.
Yeah.
We made that video. But I was a paper boy. That's how I bought a lot of my comic books and records back in the day because I had money from delivering the news in downtown to people who needed it, right?
This is fantastic, man.
Thank you. Well, they're yours. It's the first 4 issues.
Wow.
We're working on number 5.
Yeah.
And it's just independent comic published in Canada. With 2 of my best friends.
Thank you.
And you're welcome, man. Enjoy it. It's all ages. So,
And it's decent.
tell some kids it is decent. Yeah, decent comics.
Yes.
So, yeah, Decent Comics was the name of our Alex and I were making comics together when we were like in grade 8. And we just we used to make these comics and we called them Slaughterhouse comics because we were in junior high and
Yeah.
we were like, it was all inspired by like Lobo and like Terminator and like really violent, media that we were consuming back then. And then we got offered to do some comics for a kids magazine, and they were like, but it's all ages, it's for kids. And I think one of the people was in shock when they saw one of our comics, like Razor Ramon ripping someone's arm off or something. So we're like, no, we'll make them decent.
Yeah.
And
Less slaughter, more house.
exactly.
Yes.
So that's where Decent Comics came from. And
Thank
we've
you,
used
man.
that moniker ever since.
No, it's
You're
good.
welcome.
It's perfect time for it. It's winter time, so it's good to just like make some tea. What is on your pull list these days? What is making you go, ooh?
Yeah, for comics. Well, I just picked up the newest issue of Batman. I'm reading Tom King's Batman. Really enjoying that run.
That's a giant saga. It seems like he's weaving.
Totally, yeah. So it's in the 60s right now. I think he said he's committed to 100 issues. So
Okay.
I'm curious to see where that goes. He's introduced some new characters like Master Bruce, and there's some interesting stuff he's doing with with Bane right now. Oblivion Song I'm reading by Robert Kirkman. Because I really loved Invincible, and that series just ended. I guess it ended over a year ago now.
Yeah.
But so he started doing Oblivion Song. I love a lot of stuff Jeff Lemire does. Fellow Canadian. Anything he's putting out has just been fantastic. I like Stray Bullets a lot. Still read that. I'm really loving the GoBots comic by Tom Scioli.
Yeah, he does the whole thing. I read the first issue. Yeah.
It's so fun. And GoBots that's like a old toy brand for anyone listening who doesn't know. That's
Yeah.
like I could kind of take or leave the GoBots.
That's
But-
why I felt
yeah.
when I picked up the issue, and I was like, I couldn't even remember some of their names even. Like Transformers, obviously. I know the movies and stuff been around, but like Transformers were our basic DNA, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, what was the story of the GoBots again, and where did they come from? And like, I couldn't remember. Like,
GoBots are basically, if you look at them, you can probably guess what their name is. Like the motorcycle guy's name is Cykill. The helicopter guy is Coptor. So you gotta. There's something really endearing about that. But the way Tom Scioli's handling it, I was reading an interview with him, and it's a dream project for him. So that's been a lot of fun. I love Doomsday Clock too.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah, that one I'm enjoying it, but I don't know where it fits in with everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the punchline? There's a punchline coming.
yeah.
And it's gonna be like something like, because that's also gonna, I think, have some sort of impact on the three Jokers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Alright.
So that's when it spins out into all these other subplots within the DCU. For our comic book readers
Yeah.
listening, I wish it would just all stay within this series. So
Yeah.
I kind of I thought that's how Doomsday Clock was going to be, but I'm sure there will be ramifications.
There was ramifications.
There's always a ramification.
There's
of
always a
some-
ramification. There's a new song for you too, man. Just ramifications.
There's all ramifications, mad ramifications.
There you go. That's gold right there. But it's the thing too, because Jeff Johns, who writes Doomsday Clock, he's always been kind of like the DC janitor. Like, he cleans up a lot of continuity and so that's what I think Doomsday Clock is going. But I think also Three Jokers is going that way as well, where like there's a lot of weird stuff with the Joker where is he Jack Napier, is he not Jack? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So I think he's like, it's time to get the old broom out and just kind of clean this mess up, and then like,
Yeah,
until
Jack-
somebody else messes it up.
I know. Well, I mean, that's it, right? I mean, you really just have to read the comics that speak to you, and every fan and everybody's going to have a different favorite something. There's just so many different, from Batman or Flash or
Yeah.
Superman, Spider-Man, whatever. There's so many different eras and stories and characters now too. I mean, there's like
Yeah, I know.
there's literally all those characters I just named. There's like 20 versions of all
Yes,
of them.
I know. There's like two Flash, two Wally Wests and stuff like that.
Yeah. You got Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
You got everybody. There's so much going on. So it's actually a great time to be a comic book fan because you've got all the great stuff that came before, and then it seems like every book now that's coming out is really of a certain quality because the books can't stick around if they're not good, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's just not. There's no room for crappy books. Like, they just won't last.
I find now one of the things that's really funny or weird to say out loud is when I talk with my friends about comics. I'm like, did you read Action Comics number 1006? We never ever used the number that high before, so it stands out.
It's
like,
exciting, yeah.
Yeah, right? I'm like, yeah.
I know. I wish like Spider-Man kept the numbering, right? Because
Yeah.
it'd be at like in the 900s.
Yeah,
now,
it's
but-
closing on there. And Detective Comics is also closing in on there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a cool time, like you said, to be alive and to be reading comics. You just wrapped up the Canadian World Super Tour.
I did.
Right across Canada. When you're going across Canada like that, are you visiting different comic book stores as well and checking out different?
How did you know? You know me too well, Sammy.
Well, I'm leading up to something because it's like because you get a great opportunity because you get to go on tour and you get to see all these different stores. A lot of
Yeah.
people just kind of go to one or two stores like in your hometown, or maybe we'll go to St. Catharines or something right down the road. But when you go to a comic book store, what is like for you? What is a good comic book store experience? What are you looking for?
That's a great question. Yeah, first of all, I planned the entire tour around cities that had comic shops. No, it's funny. Like, I'd be on tour with somebody else, and I'm like, oh, we just got to stop in this comic shop. You know, like I was with Timbuktu, and we were like in Kingston. We went out of our way to find a comic shop. What I look for in a shop is, I mean, a big thing, because I worked in comic shops, Strange Adventures in Halifax and Silver Snail in Toronto.
Represent.
And I spent a good chunk of my life, really almost half my life, working in comic shops.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
And the other half reading them.
Yeah, really. So I really appreciate it when staff are helpful
Yeah.
and they're friendly and approach you and can talk, and obviously when they're knowledgeable. And you don't have to know everything because nobody knows everything about comics. There's just too much out there.
Yeah.
But you can really tell within stepping into a comic shop, I think within the first like minute or two, you know if it's going to be a good shop or not. When the staff are friendly, when they've got a great variety, when there's stuff you've never seen before, and really when comics are presented at the forefront. Everybody's got pop vinyls, everybody's got Marvel Legends figures or statues or busts, and that stuff's all cool. It's great. But you go to a comic shop, I want to see comics. I want to see single issues. I want to see a great selection of collections. Have some back issues. Have, some rare stuff on the wall. Like, I want to be wowed. I want to see artwork celebrated and the stories and the creators really just, there and welcoming. And honestly, that's a big thing. A welcoming environment for people who don't know anything about comics. You and I are at home if we walk into a comic shop. But you bring someone in who might just have a passing knowledge or interest, or maybe they played a video game or saw a movie based on a comic book and they want to get into it.
Yeah.
Having it be accessible to new people, I think that's so key. And when it's welcoming, and especially for all people, have it accessible so people can easily get into it. Have it open-minded for people so that if I don't want to go somewhere where if you're not like a 40-year-old male super snob,
the comic book guy on Simpsons.
Yeah, you want to just have it for everybody. Comics are for everybody. I know it's such a stupid and cliched thing to even have to say.
Yeah.
But that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those old shops that are closed-minded and closed off to new people, I mean, they're dinosaurs and they're dying off, and we're seeing that. So the shops that are surviving are the great ones that are doing stuff like that and have a community built around them. And I want to shout out Sidekick because I was just at Sidekick.
Yeah.
If you're in Toronto, what an amazing shop.
Right?
Yeah, great shop. They've got coffee, you can lounge out and just chill. All the staff there are incredible.
Yeah.
Super knowledgeable, and they've always got great recommendations right up front. So that's a free plug for Sidekick Comics.
No, they do a great job.
Yeah,
so.
Queen East, Toronto. Yeah.
The one I was kind of sad recently was Meltdown Comics in L.A.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker.
Yeah. Have you ever visited that one?
Mm-mm. I know many people who have shopped there,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I never got the chance.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too, is just as these things go, like, make sure you always go, because this was one of the more iconic stores where Nerdist and Chris Hardwick and all those guys started out there, and they would record the podcast there. And Meltdown also in the back room, they had a decent-sized room, and there was a lot of stand-up comedy and nerd kind of stuff, and nerd events and signings. And it was a giant store, too. So, and it's like in L.A., so it's like they had all this talent kind of flowing through it.
There is a great one just for California shops, Isotope in San Francisco. I've been there, and that's fantastic. And they do events and stuff there as well. And there's so many great shops around the country and all over the world. So it's great. Like when I was in Paris, I went to a comic shop.
Yeah.
There. I was like anywhere. I'm going to Japan next week. I'm definitely going to try and hunt down some comic shops. So.
When you go to places like Paris and Japan and stuff like that, because there's so much stuff that's out there that we don't even write about. So how do you know are you just kind of like hoping the staff kind of points you, or are you just going to look at the title or image and grab something?
Yeah, it's funny. When I was in Paris, it was before Snowpiercer had come out. And that was like the #1 selling comic in Paris. And it was like right up there. It was like their equivalent of Walking Dead at the time.
Yeah.
And so I kind of got a heads up on that. I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't know. I just kind of go in and just see what catches my eye and see what's new and exciting. And you do see Europe is such an incredible place for comic art because they've always respected it. I think more. North America definitely respects it now, but it was always for a long time was looked upon as just like that's kid stuff.
Yeah,
I think Europe was a country that really embraced comics as real artwork. So. That's why so many artists you see, like Heavy Metal Magazine used to always showcase a lot of stuff. But yeah, I could talk about comics forever.
Yeah, all right. Let's go back to the album because that's technically why you're here.
Hey, I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
I hope your listeners are
I'm sure they're digging it.
Sure.
As I said, the latest album is Rhyme Your Business. We'll keep with the nostalgia theme because you do have one of the tracks on there, Rental Patient.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, of course, celebrating renting videos and the video rentals and all those old school. Again, maybe for people who don't even know this experience.
Yeah, you ever rent a movie, man?
Yeah. No, I've rented a movie, but I know some people, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird when I talk to, younger kids, even 8, 10 years old. It's like they barely see commercials.
Yeah.
Right? Commercials is like still like a regular thing for us, but it's like for a kid, it's like they just so in this Netflix world.
Yeah, they don't have to. You've got the internet. You can watch anything, and it's amazing. There's so many great things about the internet, but there's also the things that I miss. Like I actually do miss. I never thought I would have said it, but I realized a few years ago. I'm like, I miss going to a video store. Like definitely as a kid after school, that was a big thing because obviously we didn't have a pants computer that you could just bring up any movie you wanted to see. Right. But I was babysitting my niece, and she just wanted to watch some movies, and it was all like digital. You're just kind of scrolling through, and it kind of dawned on me, I'm never gonna take my niece to a video store on the weekend to like rent a video, and like the experience. You smell the popcorn, you walk down the aisles, you have to pick up the different boxes, you try and have to guess what's gonna be good, you know. If you want to see Jurassic Park and they don't have it, what are you gonna get?
That disappointment hurts, man. And then it's like, well, and then the argument too, like, did you see Jurassic Park? No, man, I don't want to see that one, I want to see this one.
You go with a group of friends, right? And then everybody, that was it was like a real community and a great thing. And I think those experiences still exist, but it's very different. Like the renting experience, that's gone, not going to come back. And we'll always have that. And there are still rental stores out there, and because you can't find every movie. Yeah. You can't find every movie online. It's not on Netflix. So if you do want to watch an obscure movie, you do have to hunt it down. So there are great places like Eyesore Cinema here in Toronto. They rent. You go in there and you're like blown away. Like, I want to rent everything in there because they're movies I've never heard of. So yeah, I've got a DVD player that still sees some action for sure.
That's nice. This is a tangent, but one time I was in. This is obviously many years ago, but I was in a video store. And I was looking to rent something, and I was just by myself, but there was a couple there, and they were doing the classic thing where they were trying to pick a movie, and they were disagreeing with each other. But they were both deaf, so there was sign language arguing. So she would pick up one, and then he would argue back, and then she'd put it back on the shelf. He'd pick up one. They were doing the classic thing where, like, no, I don't want to see that. I'm not in the mood for that. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell. Like, I can't read sign language, but it's like, oh, that's really neat. Like, just to see, like, just this silent argument kind of happening, and like, you lose those connections in that community you're talking about with the comic book store, right? Like, because you're just in this Netflix thing, and you don't see other people. You don't know who's in your community anymore, in a sense.
And that's what the song Rental Patient is all about. We shot a video. Actually, we shot it at Eyesore Cinema. They were awesome to let us in there. And it's funny, a lot of places didn't want us to shoot a rap video, and then the Eyesore was so cool. They're like, yeah, do a rap video about renting videos. So we did that. A big thing, too, for, like, I still try and buy my favorite movie of the year. I like to get the physical copy of it. And my friend Sean Hatton, who I think you know Sean, so he pointed out that there's some digital movies, if you buy them digitally, they alter them. So you could buy a movie on iTunes or something, and then you want to watch it again now, they may change it. So there are certain movies, like I believe Iron Giant has had some changes made to it, whereas if you had the physical version, and Sean could tell you more about this, it's like, the physical is always going to stay the same. But if people want to just update or change effects, I mean, I don't want them going back and George Lucasing, like when he went back and revisited and just sort of drew in all that new stuff on Tatooine, on like when he redid the originals.
This is
like,
my vision.
Yeah, give me the original movie, how it was presented. So that's why in that regard, I don't always trust the digital versions of stuff.
E.T. was one of the ones recently that got changed a little bit. They, when some of the FBI agents and cops and stuff, they changed their guns to walkie-talkies. So
really?
Spielberg wanted it to be more kid-friendly, and he took away some of the guns and stuff like that.
So if you had bought that, though, if you bought E.T. when it first became available digitally, then you had that on and you were playing it on iTunes. Would iTunes have automatically updated it to the new version?
I would assume so, because it's Spielberg. He can probably make those calls, right?
Like that's what iTunes is doing and changing stuff, and that's kind of like, well, how do you find the original?
Yeah, and
you
I
have
mean,
to own it.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't like E.T. was some sort of violent movie or like, but he thought that it would make it less scary and less whatever for kids. You know, it's Spielberg too, right? So it's kind of like
that's a whole other topic of conversation, right? Like,
but I see what you're saying though.
Are your kids renting a movie this weekend? Saturday afternoon matinees aren't what they used to be. To begin with, kids don't have to go to the movie theater. They can bring the movie home from a rental store.
What you know about going out? to catch a movie at your own house, waiting in line to watch something on your own couch, no doubt. You had to get up and get it, or ask an adult if your pick was restricted. Get this, I know it's hard to believe it, but if a movie was rented, you just couldn't see it. None to download from your humble abode. You'd have to leave your home bungalow and run down the road. Hope the local shop had a copy in stock, cause if not, gotta find something else to watch. And if you thought I was done with flipping your mind, they only let you have the flick for a limited time. And if you didn't rewind, you were the evilest dude. Worse than the term previously viewed. Even though you paid, it was only yours to borrow, cause after all of that, you'd have to bring it back tomorrow. Yo, take it from a rental patient. You had to have rental patience, checking the shelves of every destination. They might have a copy at the next location. Yo, this is for the rental patients, selecting discs and cassettes for playing. Popcorn sensed through the ventilation. Better get something good, cause your friends are waiting. Okay then, now in case you didn't know, the lengths you had to go just to get a video was a ritual, a major event when you got your own card and were able to rent. Swear everyone went, families to film buffs, stoners and punks who try to steal stuff, or just loiter and eat the free popcorn. Sneak a peek behind the curtain, they stock porn, and every visit was a hunt and a gamble, taking chances on new ones to sample. A lot of choices were only based on box art, so if you found a gem, you were a rock star. And few things could beat that relief smile of being first to the new release aisle. But be guile, cause if you don't wanna find, you better make sure you return it on time. Yo, this is for the rental patients, selecting discs and cassettes for playing. Popcorn sensed through the ventilation. Better get something good, cause your friends are waiting. The top movies were dirty, they all got around, in and out of every last player in town. Wow, I mean, why you think each release came with fingerprint stains and some pizza grease? 7-day rentals for $7, kid? Test your luck, cause what you picked you were stuck with. Why put up with this? Glad you asked, cause buying back then cost a lot of cash. It was the age of renters, made more memorable, cause we knew what we had was ephemeral. A flicker on the screen, a brief time and moment of taking something home, knowing you didn't own it. You don't appreciate the greats till you take a risk. Beta VHS, DVD, Laserdisc. Maybe this is just how they were meant to be seen, on pieces of plastic you stick in machines. Yo, take it from a rental patient. You had to have rental patience, checking the shelves of every destination. They might have a copy at the next location. Yo, this is for the rental patients, selecting discs and cassettes for playing. Popcorn sensed through the ventilation. Better get something good, cause your friends are waiting. You had to have rental patience. Yes. For all the rental patients I used to see at Video Villa, aka Super Video, Queen of Morris, Video Difference, Critics' Choice, Gigantic Video, Jumbo Video, Video Flicks, Video Picks, MT Video, Video 99, Johnson's Video in Scarborough, where I saw the G.I. Joe cartoon movie, and they had the Super Famicom games and the Famicom games with the converters. That was crazy. Blockbuster, you can't forget about. Hollywood, Video 99, Queen Video, Video Free Brooklyn, whatever video in every city, yo. This is for every rental patient out there.
Can children rent these cassettes, any cassettes from these rental places?
With a song like that, what comes first? Is it the idea to celebrate the video store? Is it the beat? Or is it just kind of like you just sometimes go in the studio and then you have a beat and then that's what pops in your head? Or like...
I had the idea for the song. I've had it for a little while, and I had been trying to write it and crack the code. I'd actually started writing it around the time Replicable Skills came out, which was my album in 2015, and I just couldn't quite find the right angle to it. And then I kind of zoned in on like the rental patient, and to rent videos you needed patience, and I thought the title was kind of funny. Sometimes it's like a, you know, lightning hits and you're like, this works. And then of course Beat Mason, who is just a super talented producer and homie that I've worked with forever. Yeah. You know, he showed me that beat and I was like, dude, I love this beat. I think I've got a good idea for it. So I crafted the lyrics for Rental Patient around that beat, ran it by him. He's feeling it. He amps it up, and then we just we go from there. And so, yeah, sometimes I'm always thinking of different song ideas, and then when I hear the beat, something just clicks, and it's like, oh, this is the right beat for this, right? So like the title track for Rhyme Your Business, I kind of had this idea of Rhyme Your Business, and Beat Mason showed me this incredible beat that became the beat for Rhyme Your Business, and it was just like, oh, this makes it all come together. So
Yeah, because I mean, you had like, for example, Damage Control
Yeah.
on this album, and I mean, you've been
Another dope Beat Mason beat. Yeah,
Right,
that's a
but
banger.
you've been dropping like Marvel comics and all kinds of stuff for years on many different tracks and albums and guest spots and things like that. So it's funny. It's like, why would you almost like wait this long in a weird way to kind of drop something on like Damage Control?
Yeah, well, it's funny. Yeah, I guess I kind of thought the same thing. It's like I'm always rapping about this stuff, and then but just to focus in and just make it specifically about Damage Control from Marvel Comics, and also because I'd been Esoteric, who's featured on that track, one of my favorite rappers. I always loved the stuff he was doing with 7L, and now he's in Czarface with Inspector Deck from Wu-Tang. So, it's not named, I don't want to name drop, but, I'm sort of 6 degrees from Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
But
You're
Esoteric
getting
is...
closer.
Getting closer.
Yeah.
You know what, though? He's such a dope MC and just a great person. And I know he's a comic book lover. So I pitched him the idea for Damage Control, and he was all over it, which made me super psyched. So then we just collaborated and did that track, and it worked really well. So, but yeah, any chance I have to geek out and get into that mindset, right? If you ask me to rap about comics, it's like, I hope you got a lot of battery power in that mic, because I'm gonna go a while.
Yeah, and I mean, the flip side of it too is the other one is MacGuffin Device, which is a classic G.I. Joe reference. Well, I mean, MacGuffin is kind of a classic pop culture reference, but this one specifically was a G.I. Joe reference. And that's the other flip side of your coin, I guess, right? Which is like, anytime you have an opportunity to talk about G.I. Joe or to flip something in there, or like a vehicle or like...
it's really anytime I have an opportunity to talk about anything I love, I'm going to do it, which is whenever a mic's in front of me.
Right.
So G.I. Joe is definitely one of those things I love. Welcome to Cobra Island was a full labor of love. And yeah, MacGuffin Device, it's actually like Alfred Hitchcock coined that phrase. And that's in books and obviously lots of literature and film, the MacGuffin Device, where they never tell you what the item is, but everyone in the story is trying to get the MacGuffin Device. And yeah, of course, G.I. Joe, they use it in an episode, so that was something I would have seen as a kid. That was probably where I first heard MacGuffin Device, and so yeah, I definitely drew on that for inspiration. But MacGuffin Device again, that's another Beat Mason track, and that's I feel like it's just sort of a fun way to describe what I was doing in the song. Like, it's just something you can't really explain, but this is my style. So I kind of rap. This is how Wordburglar raps. I'm not rapping like Drake. I'm not rapping like Kanye. I'm not rapping like whoever. I'm just rapping like me. Those dudes are all dope. I think they're going to be very successful.
Yes. Well, I mean,
but that's like got the MacGuffin Device, I guess. Yeah.
You started off talking about Wu-Tang Clan, and I mean, I don't know how many members are actually, like, Wu-Tang's huge, obviously. It's like 10 people more.
Yeah. Well, you work in the Wu affiliates, and who knows? There's a lot.
The point I'm making is that, like, Method Man is completely different than Inspector Deck, and RZA's different than, like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, the core crew, they all brought something different to the table, right? So yeah, ODB. I mean, like, even You God, right? Like, people forget You God, but his voice was so dope, and like you put him on the track with everybody, and yeah. No, the Wu-Tang forever, man, for sure.
Yeah.
So many different styles, and just
Well, let's keep with the theme of Wu-Tang and Cash Rules Everything Around Me, because Bumblebee movie came out and it failed a little bit, right?
Did it fail? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so it didn't do as well, like, compared to, like, even China was, like, a little bit with the Bumblebee movie.
Were people expecting China to love it, or?
Well, because China was the one the country that, like, helped all the last 3 or 4 Transformer movies clock over $1 billion, right? So they always have the taste of a 12-year-old, it seems like, right? And so they're like, the Transformers movies get annihilated here. It's Michael Bay, and they're terrible too, right?
I think they're terrible, but they're doing something right, because they've made a ton of dough.
Right. And that's why Bumblebee is kind of like, it's like the Solo movie. Solo didn't make Star Wars money. You know what I mean?
I love Solo,
but it didn't make Star Wars money.
It's crazy how Solo, like, I got Solo for Christmas from my wife. She was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, you know what? I'll just take a couple of Blu-rays. Yeah. So I wanted the Infinity War and Solo. That's like literally all I could think of to ask for. And I love Solo, so I watched it with my mom and my wife because they hadn't seen it. I saw it in theaters. They both loved it. My mom, who like took me to Star Wars as a kid, she was like all on it, and her only beef with the movie, which was amazing. She was like, I don't like the name. What were they called? Like the Crimson. Were they called Crimson Empire or something?
Oh, Crimson Guard? No,
not Crimson. Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn. Yeah.
She was like, that doesn't sound like a Star Wars name. I'm like, go, Mom. That's amazing.
That's a good, yeah.
But other than that, she loved it. And I don't know why that movie failed because honestly, that and Force Awakens have been, and I love Rogue One a lot too. Like those, I think they were all great. I wasn't crazy about Last Jedi, but we don't need to go there. But
the reason I brought up Bumblebee, because I was wondering, like, do you think it'll have an impact on whether we'll see any more G.I. Joe films? Because it's all kind of connected back to Hasbro and that, because they're our studio, right? So, and they're trying to control. I think at one point they were even talking about doing a shared universe between the two. I mean, we've had, it's been 2 Joe movies, right?
Yeah. That would definitely make sense. Everyone I've talked to has told me Bumblebee is dope. I just haven't had a chance to see it.
It's dope, but it's just not. Again, it's like it's not making Transformers money.
Like I love Spider-Verse. I saw that instead of Bumblebee, and I thought it was a good choice. It was crazy. But Bumblebee, for a shared universe, it would totally make sense. And I'm not too crazy about the G.I. Joe live action films. I do think they're both better than any of the Transformer films I've seen.
Yes.
But
the second one especially gets a little bit better.
Yeah, dude. Again, we could talk about this forever, but the second one, they tried some stuff, little RZA connection in there. But I did like how they celebrated like the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow relationship. I thought Zartan was actually done pretty well. I thought Firefly was pretty good. Cobra Commander actually in the second one was dope. Like there's some really, second one's actually got a lot of good stuff going for it. And they are doing a Snake Eyes film.
Okay.
So I don't know if
he hasn't talked though.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna have a character not talk for like 2 hours?
Well, I mean, he talked pre-accident, but I don't know how much they're gonna. I don't know how much they're gonna follow that, and I think they've updated it. To me, I always thought the cool way to handle G.I. Joe, at least the G.I. Joe that we know, the '80s G.I. Joe, would have been to make a movie set in the '80s because then you can use crazy costumes. G.I. Joe, the 80s, would basically, the backstory, a lot of these characters were in the Vietnam, they fought in the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And then they came back, and then they became the Joe. If you follow the Larry Hama comics, which are amazing, and that was sort of like, and then it gets into Reagan era, not to get too political or whatever, but that's kind of what that's why that all worked, because the 80s was a different time. G.I. Joe, I think, will always work in any year or generation because it's at its core, it's about a team, it's about specialists, it's about good versus evil and cool gear and accessories and wild amazing adventures and over the top villains. So I think that's going to translate anywhere. I think it needs a serious reboot if they want to try and do something set in 2019. So I don't know how they're going to do it. Obviously, getting away from like the American war machine, that's, I think, been a major issue for Hasbro over the years.
Worlds Without End.
Worlds Without End, yeah.
Throw it back, then you can go back in time. This was a two-parter. It was a two-parter, right? Where
I just want to say, I didn't mean like the American war machine, but you know what I mean. Like for the rest of the world, like looking at it, I think it's a hard sell because people don't want to buy American. When American, I mean like North American as well, right? Like growing up with a real American hero, I always thought, well, we're North America. It's the same thing. But I think that's a tough sell overseas. People don't want to see, military stuff, where Transformers does better because it's robots and everybody likes robots.
Yeah. You're going to get a litmus test, actually, I think in 2019. I think it's going to be 2019 because Stallone's coming up with the new Rambo.
Oh, really?
I think it's actually almost done or is done.
Give it up for Stallone.
I know.
Still, like, cranking
Rambo 5.
out the hits.
And
damn, and like Creed is like crazy, like...
But Rambo is a Vietnam vet. And
the first Rambo's crazy.
Right? So, but Vietnam finished like 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago? Like,
what? It was, I mean, such an impactful,
I know.
world event.
But he's still going to be having flashbacks. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Rambo 5.
Rambo 5. So
and he's playing Rambo.
Yeah, no, he's been putting up stuff on Instagram and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, they've actually been shooting it. It's not like a rumor. Like, it should be done or coming out this year.
Wow.
So this will give you a test because, I mean, Stallone is still he's still a decent enough name, and especially like you said, the Creed's done well. So it'll be interesting to see if he can sell a Rambo overseas, and if they're like with Trump and everything else going on, if they will still like buy this. And like,
I mean, me personally, I think it's awesome, and I think they should do that, and I think G.I. Joe will always be fantastic, but I do understand it is a tough sell for, and we know, like, if parents are trying to buy toys for their kids, if you go to the store, you'd rather buy a Star Wars toy or a wrestler or a transforming robot as opposed to seeing someone with guns, right? Like, just a human with guns is going to be a tough sell for kids these days. So, it was different times, but...
So all these topics and all these themes are kind of show up in your one podcast.
Thanks for bringing it back.
Yes. Eventually we come back to this stuff. I knew there was going to be tangents on this one.
Oh, man, you know me. I should be the tangent burglar.
Yeah. So, Tangent Burglar. I guess that's the new album. But you do have 2 podcasts. Well, one just started right now, but the one that's consistent is Weekend at Burgies. And then the new one is Do You Still Like This? Where you, it was just Coins, I think was the first episode.
Yep. So second episode should be dropping shortly with Sean Hatton, actually, who we were talking about.
Nice.
And we're, Do You Still Like This Movie is all about, it's literally what the title is. Do you still like this movie? So I have a guest on, and they pick a movie that they used to like, but they haven't seen in a long time. And then we watch it and see if they still like it. Sometimes I've seen the movie, sometimes I haven't. And it's just a great excuse for me to watch old movies with cool people, and then we just get to dissect and see what holds up and what doesn't. So it's a really simple idea. I started doing it. Actually, I've been recording episodes for over a year, so we didn't get to launch it until December. But I was recording in like 2017. I started working on it. Yeah, and it's just a monthly podcast. You can just find it. Just type in "Do you still like this movie?" You'll find it. But yeah, it's been really fun going back. Like, the episode's coming up. I don't want to spoil anything, but they're movies I've seen. I watched a lot as a kid, and watching them now, you really do see it in a new light. And some stuff totally holds up, and then some stuff is just like, oh, this is not good. Like, this is, like, politically incorrect. It's offensive. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
A-Team and Miami Vice are like that.
Yeah.
Like, because I've seen, like, you find an A-Team episode on, like, late at night at 2 in the morning or something on one of those channels. And you're like, wow, this is real. Like, these are grown men, too, who are, like, writing it and producing it. I'm like, you don't feel ashamed?
I know. Well, everything. There's, like, whether it's homophobia or racism or misogyny or just, like, weird just stuff that's just wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, what were they thinking? But then you think, okay, this was 1989 or this was 92, which really isn't that long ago for some stuff. And, yeah, it's but then some other films are just timeless, and that's what's really exciting when you see a movie that you did used to love and it's still really good.
Yeah,
that like feels good. And I think in the bigger scheme of things, I guess it's just sort of like asking the question, what's good? Like, what stands the test of time? Like, if you go back and listen to any album, like Wu-Tang album, or like go back and listen like. In high school, I listened to old Pink Floyd albums, and I was like, these are awesome. Like, some stuff is just timeless, and some movies are, so it's not that deep, but it's fun. So, yeah.
Do you think of that? Are you conscious of that when you go in the studio and you're recording, that how this will hold up 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Do you think people will look back and like, man, I listened to Wordburglar. I was so embarrassed. He's sitting there talking about cream of wheat. I feel like an idiot. Well, or like, you think of like, oh, this is amazing. Now I get all these references because they made all these movies since then.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you...
Well, I mean, that's really where the title of the newest album came from. Like, Rhyme Your Business is really just... is tell it like it is. Speak what you know. And so that's all I've ever tried to do. Just try to be as honest as I can. Obviously, you amp stuff up for entertainment, but just having the truth there, I think, in everything. And so I guess it's my hope that the truth is always going to be interesting and is always going to hold up. Yeah, I guess I don't really think like, oh, man, are my grandkids going to love this or not. Maybe I should.
It's funny because I mean that's your.
Maybe my
whole-
grandkids
yeah.
won't get this weird reference to Visionaries, Knights of the Magical Light.
That's a deep cut. Yeah, I know. It was like, I think Grandpa's weird.
What's Grandpa talking about? These dudes with holograms on their chest. This is crazy.
By the way, Visionaries was crazy. I don't
Visionaries dope.
know. Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, well, I just leaked it, man. I got a Visionaries track dropping on the next record.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Spaceverse.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
dropping this summer.
Okay, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's funny because I mean, half your work and your life is based on, like you said, nostalgia. I mean, we've covered like everything in the last like half hour, 40 minutes we've been talking, like from G.I. Joe to Visionaries to like Wu-Tang. Like,
Yeah.
But it's funny that you don't apply that nostalgia to your own work, though.
Huh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, in terms of looking back at my own work fondly, I do. Like, I guess I don't really look backwards at the stuff. I'm proud of everything I've done. And when I record something and finally release it out into the world, I really only release stuff that I'm proud of at that moment and happy with. So I go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. And yeah, there's a few tracks that I may have heard now. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy from like 15 years ago or something. But I mean, the nostalgia thing really, yesterday is nostalgia, right? Like literally. So I'm just celebrating things I've liked throughout my life. And so as long as I'm living, I'm going to celebrate stuff I like.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I celebrate stuff from like when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, now being an adult, and then it's funny with Spaceverse, there are some future things on there, but yeah, I guess I think all my albums are a lot. I try and live in the present, like a pet in a gift box, which is a line on the record.
Yeah.
And but I can't help but think about the cool stuff from my past that I remember, and nostalgia is a fun thing. Whenever people talk about it in a negative light, that doesn't make sense to me, because if it's something that made you happy at one point in time, why would you ever want to forget about that? You want to remember it.
Yeah.
If I love a crazy Transformer from when I was a kid, and I see it today and it makes me happy, that's a good thing. Like I don't want to forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so how do you balance all these things, like the podcasts and the comic books and the album? Like, is there kind of like a different creative approach, or you just get bored of like making an album, so then you want to do some comic books and then you go do some podcasts, or like, how do you balance these things? Or you don't balance them, gets by the side?
Yeah, I'm a Libra, so I guess balance is sort of in my nature. If you buy into any of that astrological stuff, I guess I just sort of follow day to day. I just sort of follow what I feel I want to work on. Some days I'm super inspired to write a comic book. Other days it's like I'm going to be writing rhymes for like 8 hours straight. And then other days I just want to sit in front of a mic and talk to people and do the podcast. I jam pack all my days, like my week. I stay pretty busy, and it's just what I love to do. And then in my downtime, I read comics and play video games and hang out with my girl, That's, yeah.
Like doing a lot of these interviews and stuff, I talked to a number of comic book creators and other people in the industry. There's no almost division between your chilling time and your chilling reading comics and then the work that you kind of have to do. You know what I mean? Where you kind of going back and looking for references and like, you know what I'm getting at? Like, it's almost like it's one blur. Like, do you ever get to separate and just kind of like read comics just for the sake of reading comics? Or are you always just, when you read something, then you're like, oh, I should remember this as a reference or like incorporate it? So you're almost on the clock in a way.
Yeah, no, I don't think of it as on the clock. I genuinely just love it. And I read so many comics, and I've read thousands of comics in my life, and I've certainly not rapped about all of them. And
Yet.
That Nth Man album's coming.
Yes. Somebody has to do it.
Strike Force Morituri.
Well, don't forget John Byrne's Next Man.
Oh, man, that's a good series. Very good stuff. I read for enjoyment. I love it. I just zone out. Like I'm always reading comics and books and stuff. At night before I go to bed, I've got a stack of comics and books by my bed, and I'm just always. I don't think about this is fodder, but it will creep into my brain later. Obviously, if something cool pops out, it's like, oh, I'd like to do something. But like when I worked on Welcome to Cobra Island, I didn't really think about the stuff. Like I did a song that was inspired by the Cobra: The Last Laugh, which was an amazing IDW story with Chuckles. And I read that when it came out, and I loved it, and it blew me away. And then when the Welcome to Cobra Island album started coming out, that's just sort of naturally popped into my head that was a story that affected me, that was something I needed to draw inspiration from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does that answer? I don't know.
It's your life. I mean,
man, this is cool, man.
Yeah.
I want to know what are you reading these days? What's inspiring you?
I'm really digging the Incredible Hulk. I know a number of Immortal Hulk, actually. Sorry, Immortal Hulk. Al Ewing. He's transformed it into a horror comic, and so it's there was a scientist that was being evil and kind of doing nasty things to the Hulk and kind of experimenting on him or whatever. And so at one point, he was kind of like disassembled. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it in the comic. But the Hulk, basically, he went from Bruce Banner to the Hulk, but he transformed around the guy. So he absorbed the evil scientist. Does that make any sense?
Sure, yeah.
And so...
Well, to a guy who's read comics,
yes, it makes
does.
sense. Yeah, I know. I just realized when I said it out loud, I'm like, that sounds so dumb. But so it's a horror comic, and he's transforming at night and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, this is really good. Like, it just kind of... I mean, you mentioned, like, Robert Kirkman.
Mm-hmm.
He's known for, obviously, Walking Dead, but he also does the other series, Outcast.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm also reading that one as well. I'm kind of hit and miss with the Tom King Batman. I can't decide if I really like it or not. But I have really been enjoying Bendis' Superman when he started that up.
Yeah, I wasn't too crazy at the start of the Bendis Superman, but I've heard good things about it since. I might check it out. I'm with you on the Tom King. Like, it is hit and miss, but I'm enjoying that Batman. I loved... He did The Vision for Marvel.
Yep.
And if anyone
More Than a Man
listening-
or Little More Than a Man or whatever it's called.
Such a good series.
Mhm.
That, to me, that's one of those books that a creator does that just says... Like, when I read that, I'm like, I will give anything this guy does a chance because I loved this book so much. I don't think he's topped The Vision yet.
Yeah.
But, like, Mr. Miracle kind of left me wanting a bit more, but...
Yeah, and I'm not totally sold. He's also doing that Heroes in Crisis book, too.
Yeah.
And I'm not totally sold. I'm like,
Nah.
I read it, and I'm like, I guess so. I think, too, the funny thing with comics is, like, you always, like, when you get home, when you get that stack, and then you have that behavior where, like, I got to read this one first. And Tom King's not one of those guys yet in the pile where, like, I got to get this first. And, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you got a little bit of work to do, son. Yeah. So the one guy who's slowly creeping up to the, like, I got to read this first, of new writers is Matthew Rosenberg.
Yeah. He's doing some X-Men stuff. Yeah, some really good stuff.
Yeah, so he's, like you were saying with, like, Tom King kind of, like, wooing you with Vision. Like, Rosenberg is kind of like, yo, man, here's some chocolate. Here's some flowers. He's coming around. And like,
that's what's exciting, right? It's like music, comics, when you start to discover someone really on the come up and you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this to be as good.
Yeah.
And then you need more and you got to keep fueling it.
Yeah.
Right?
And I find with his stuff, he's fanboyish in the positive, like in the Neil Gaiman sense, where like he knows the history. You could tell he grew up reading this stuff, and he knows what kind of works and doesn't work. Because he's brought back Jean Grey, Multiple Man, like he's brought back a couple of people like that, and he does it seamless, right? But he does it as a cool, like, kind of fanboy. Like, you know what? This works within all this continuity. I'm like, oh snap, well done, son.
That's so important.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause learning from the failures of yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's why I referred to Jeff Johns as a janitor, because there are sometimes they just get excited and they hire somebody like Grant Morris on X-Men or whatever, and they're like, go nuts, I'm going to go make a sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, when you said that earlier, I meant to say that's a great description of him, because he has totally done that with so many books.
Yeah, he just comes in with the broom and just like, you guys screwed all this stuff up. Now I got to clean all that. It's like a party's done or whatever, and there's all those red cups everywhere. That's where Jeff Johns comes in. He's like, you guys suck at editing comics and stuff. Like, look at all these like solo cups everywhere.
He knows how to do it, and sometimes you're given some crap that you have to just make work. You have to make an omelet out of this barf.
Yes.
He does it.
Yeah. So back to the music and the album.
Oh yeah, we're talking about that stuff.
Yeah. So you said you're going to be releasing a Visionaries track. Is that going to be just a track this summer, or is it going to be an EP, or is it going to be a Visionaries like Welcome to Cobra Island kind of thing? Or
I guess I did let the cat out of the bag. I will say it's an album that is all themed around sci-fi and space topics.
Okay.
So the working title now is Spaceverse.
Ooh.
And at the moment, Yeah, there will be at least one Visionaries track. I don't think there's going to be more than one, but there could be because it's a work in progress right now. And it's going to be a combination of I have a lot of songs already that I've done that are space and sci-fi themed, kind of like you mentioned earlier about I've done a lot of comic book tracks, but some of them haven't been on my albums. I've done a lot of space songs that haven't been on my albums, and so I'm working with a bunch of different producers, doing some remixes, and it's very much in the early stages coming together at the moment, so...
This sounds like a more or less project too. Like I would assume he's gonna appear. Or
yeah, Les is definitely involved because I worked with him on Doctor Who project, and we did a great. There's a track called Picard Maneuver on his newest album, which is really dope. You should check out. Shout out more or less. Was just such a crazy MC, incredible DJ, and he's a really dope producer too. And yeah, Les will definitely be involved. I mean, him and I have been working together since like 2005 or 6 or something, so it's been a long time. We go way back.
Yeah, time flies on the Rimo clock.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, Space Furs, I guess I don't have much to officially announce right here, but definitely in the coming months I'll have some news. I'm doing some touring. I'm going to Japan and playing a show in Japan, and then I'm doing some shows in the States. I'm going to go to Seattle and Portland, a few other dates coming up, and then I'm going to be spending a lot of time working on a few different projects, some album stuff, some comic stuff, and yeah, it's a busy year.
It is a busy year.
I'm hoping by August there should be some pretty cool stuff.
Okay.
And I do have a 7-inch coming out, a new 7-inch record dropping with a space song featuring Kool Keith and Mega Ran, which is a remix of a track called Space Defense Team. And then the other side is Damage Control with Esoteric, produced by Beat Mason. And Space Defense Team is produced by Bix, who's a dope producer. And yeah, it's just a nice, a really cool little 7-inch that's coming out from Black Buffalo Records. So that will hopefully be out late spring. And then, I'm hoping to get this sort of like new album with some remixes and some new tracks, hopefully out by the end of the summer.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm very excited about it right now.
Yeah, I can tell,
I'm deep in the middle of it,
Yeah.
so it's still starting to take shape, and there's a lot of work that has to be done. I have to contact some producers and talk to some people and see what's going on, but yeah.
Are you as excited when you finish an album like that? Like you get it done and now it's out, or do you like that little middle period where like you got it done but nobody knows it or nobody's heard of it yet?
Yeah, I mean, clearly I'm bad at keeping a secret. I try and keep secrets. I try to keep stuff pretty close until it's ready to come out, but I'm super excited. When I'm working on stuff, I get really, really excited about it. And then when it comes out, I get really excited. And Rhyme Your Business is still brand new. Like, it's only been out for a few months, but there's still millions of people who have never heard it. And now it's even harder than ever to push records, especially I'm an independent artist.
Yeah.
So it's DIY. I like it that way, but I've got nobody promoting this record. It's just me. So that's why I did the Canadian tour, to get the word out, to show people, hey, I've got another record out. I'm out here. I'm doing this. And it's really, really hard to get traction. And in my experience, I found it almost takes like a year or two before people even notice your record.
Yeah.
So to me, Rhyme Your Business is just a little baby. Like it hasn't even had a chance yet. So I'm really going to be pushing the heck out of Rhyme Your Business for the next year, and always. I mean, all my other records too, right? Like so, I don't, I'm not relying on anybody to promote it, so I have to do it. And, but yeah, new projects are have me super excited right now.
Nice. Where can people find you online to follow all the magic and when things are coming out, or if you're coming to a town near you or a comic book shop near you?
Best spot is just wordburglar.com. There's links to Facebook, to the tour dates. There's Instagram, I'm at the Wordburglar, and on Twitter, I'm at Wordburglar. And if you're on Facebook, just type in Wordburglar, and there's a page there. And I try and update all that stuff as much as I can on iTunes or any podcast server you use. Just look up Weekend at Burgies, or Do You Still Like This Movie, and type in Wordburglar, and you should be able to find all my records. And I'm on all the streaming services. you can find if that's your preferred method. But we always like it if you buy a record. But
Yes.
YouTube too. We got a lot of videos, so check them out. And thanks for having me. And this is amazing. So.
Yeah, no, this was fun. We've been meaning to talk and do this,
Yeah.
or whatever. But thank you for bringing comics. It's the last paper out. That's so cool.
Yes, available at local comic shops like The Amazing Silver Snail, Sidekick, and Strange Adventures in Halifax. Or just message me. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of.
You got to do the comic book thing, and you got to sign it for me.
Got it. To My Pal Sammy.
Yeah, there you go. And
What's
that's
up, cuz?
What's up, cuz? So thank you, Sean. Thank you, Wordburglar, for coming in. Thank you for the beats and the music. As you said, Rhyme Your Business is out now. You can pick it up at all the different cool spots. Thank you for listening. I'm Sammy Younan. You can follow me at My Pal Sammy on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. Thanks, Sean.
Dope. Thank you.
Damage control reports, all stations.
You need damage control.
Hi, superheroes. Everything okay? Well, I was building girders till my skills on this earth were tilted further by the Silver Surfer. Turned a burglar to a civil server. Thrilling work, sure, I know they save kids, but who they think's cleaning up all this bridge? Cletus Cassidy carnage at Carnegie Hall, or blast on the bomb burst, car bombing them all. I'm charging them all like Gambit's credit cards, handling damage like slamming the record bars.
Fantastic. Reading Sue, split the street in two, defeating humans, find an evil do. Tell them we the cleanup crew, damage control, it's grim. I seen a thing or two, it's clobbering time. When stopping crime gets broken like the hobgoblin's mind. When the weapons go blam blam, we deal with it all, big or small like Ant-Man. If Jean's way gets carried away, it's safe to say she gonna pay the bill, word to pay the way.
Hey, what can I say? It's just another day at work. Want tough? You should see our Secret Wars paperwork. Herbs make damage, we manage the task. When Atlantis attacks, or Namor's planning a bath. Yeah, Patsy Walker the sleepwalker. Even Peter Parker needs a partner after he beats Shocker. We're sweeping the meat locker of a Marvel zombie. Leave your face whiter than Moon Knight's laundry. Behind the scenes, working harder than trying to find the Hulk size of jeans. In times of need, who you gonna call when the sky falls? We always open, like the Watcher's eyeballs.
They need new security in the Sandwich land.
Sounds worse than when Angar had a band. Damn, can't lose my undershirt if you're uninsured. You have better luck invoicing the Punisher.
When they warring with the Hulks and they brawling with the cats. When they leave dents and cracks and the monuments collapse. Super villains out for loot, they shoot and blast the entrance. We pick up pieces from their random acts of vengeance. Yo, tensions high, as Shatari pour on portals in the sky. Collide with buildings, mortals mortified and forced to hide. Maybe it's doom, envy and tombs of Killmonger. I really wish these towers were built stronger.
We build longer hours, but leave it to a novice and be out of business if Galactus sits on your office. We got this. We'll clean, control, clear them faster than Jarvis on some super soldier serum. From the Shi'ar Imperium to Yancey Street in no time, like Kang. We can't be beat. Sandman, debris,